Oh man. Anyway, so apparently, I had to jump off the live. I got pulled over by the police, by the popo, because my tailgate was open, and they were just letting me know my tailgate was open. I had to pull over and close my tailgate. That's crazy. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't speeding. I was actually going with the flow of traffic, so it's all good. Cop would just let me know that my tailgate was open and that I should close it. So I went ahead and closed my tailgate. Now I'm back on the road, y'all. Anyway, like I was saying, y'all, to pick up where I left off. When you talk about black on black crime, when they talk about black on black crime, they're talking about a specific type of crime, right? They're talking about a specific type of crime. They're talking about, crimes of proximity based on socio-economic issues. Socio-economic issues, right? Because there are many other crimes that are committed in this world that aren't exclusively committed by black people onto other black people. And here's the thing. Here's some context. Why does it appear that black people commit the most crimes against their own people? Well, it's because there are more impoverished black people than other races. Okay, there are more black folks in the United States are the most impoverished in the United States. That's just what it is. So if you live in an area where there's a lot of black people and it's an impoverished area, most of the crimes are going to be committed by other black people toward other black people because of proximity. Now, when Champside brought this up on the panel with Ryan Garcia, some guy said, "Oh, that's BS," blah blah blah, and then said something about, "Oh well, I live in Texas, and the areas where people live in Texas with the $700,000 homes don't be committing no killings." Okay, so what is the key point of that statement that he even missed? Is the fact that those are people who own $700,000 homes. So if you live in a affluent area where there are homes where where the people make a lot of money, they're well off, they're successful, well, they're not going to be committing the same level of crimes as the people that live in areas where the homes are worth $100,000, $200,000, where people aren't so financially successful, where there is more poverty. So what are you talking about? But if you take, and it has nothing to do with color, because there are areas where black people live predominantly that is affluent. As a matter of fact, back when I was in California, I did a live stream where I was rucking through the neighborhood near my childhood home, and where I showed you guys all the homes in that area that are worth millions of dollars, the upper $100,000. You're talking about $800,000 homes, $1 million homes, $2 million homes, $3 million homes, and guess who owns most of those homes to this day? Black people, black lawyers, black doctors, black agents, whatever you want to, whatever, entertainment industry motherfuckers. Black people predominantly own those homes, and it has a very small crime rate. Do you understand? So you're talking about an area or a neighborhood that is affluent where there is little to no crime. It has nothing to do with race, though. It has to do with socioeconomic status. If you have a more ideal socioeconomic status, you're going to live in an area where there's less crime. It has nothing to do with race. Just like if there are areas in whatever city or whatever town or whatever state that you live in where there are a lot of impoverished white people, guess what? They're going to be committing a lot of crimes against each other. They're going to steal each other's shit. They're going to rob each other. They're going to kill each other. They're going to be more likely to form gangs and have rivalries amongst other gang members. This is the case with white people too that are impoverished, that live in impoverished areas. Yes, there are less white impoverished areas. That's why you have these statistics that they spew at you, that the FBI collects from local police departments. So now they have to collect all this information from all these police departments from all over the country to come up with these statistics. And if you don't think that these police departments don't fluff the numbers, you are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. So we're talking about crimes of proximity. Crimes of proximity. Just like in Eastern Europe, where you have Russia trying to encroach on Ukrainian territory, right? Which is, and what does this do? This causes harm, and this victimizes Ukrainian people. Ukrainian people are white, Russians are white. So you have Putin committing the crime of invading another country and trying to take over, killing a bunch of people. That's white on white crime. If you want to go there, that's what it is. But no, what it really is a crime of proximity. Putin wanted the Donbass region, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, because of the access to the Black Sea and all this, that, and the third. He wanted, certain resources that he could have access to. So guess what? Under the auspices of reuniting Russian countries that were broken up, he says, "Oh well, we want to gain these countries back and bring the Soviet Union back to its glory." That's bullshit. He wanted more territory where he had access to more resources, where he had access to more trade, where he could control trade in certain parts of the world and have a foothold. But it's a crime nonetheless. You understand what I'm saying? Large scale crime. Large scale crime. Just like the United States government. When they decided that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, that he was instrumental in the planning and execution of attacks, that was harboring terrorists. By the way, 19 of those terrorists were from Saudi Arabia, by the way, just so y'all know. If we go with, the non-false flag narrative, where if we go with what they want us to believe, 19 of those 26 terrorists were Saudi Arabia, but never mind that. We're just going to blame Iraq. Well, that's not working too well amongst people. So we're going to tell the people, yo, man, these motherfuckers, man, they got weapons of mass destruction. They lied. They lied. George H.W. Bush, the white man, the white bankers who really wanted the shit to happen, right? And really the white bankers. The white bankers, they committed the crime of lying to the American people to invade a country that ain't did shit to them. Well, what are Arabic people? You call them white. You can call them Middle Eastern white people. White on white crime. You lied to the people to invade Iraq, to kill a bunch of Iraqi people, to destabilize an entire region. These are crimes. You lied because you wanted to get some fucking oil. You wanted to get some oil. You wanted to control the poppy fields in Afghanistan. You wanted to do this. You wanted to do that. How many white people died in 9/11? When the Twin Towers came down? How many people? Well, what about that guy that owned the building and took out a multi-billion-dollar policy on the buildings right before the towers were hit? How about that? What about all the lies? What about all the lies that were pushed by the 9/11 Commission? What about all the obvious truths and obvious facts about what may have really occurred during 9/11? We won't want to get into that. Who committed those crimes? Who committed the crimes against 9/11? Whether what they said happened or didn't. It wasn't black people. Black people didn't fly them planes to that building. Black people didn't kill 3,000 people at once. Oh, y'all don't want to talk about that? You don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about that. You want to talk about that, do you? Because whether the false flag is a false flag or not, black people ain't flying no planes. Saudi Arabia and Osama bin Laden didn't send black people over here to do that. Arabic people are not black. They white. They white. They're white people with deep tans. Because they've been in the desert for centuries. But they ain't black. The white Arabs. Yeah. Yeah. If we're gonna go with the narrative that the 9/11 Commission wants you to go with, it was white Arabs. But if we want to go with what may be closer to reality, still white people. Yeah. Of those 3,000 people that died in 9/11, a lot of them were white. A lot of those people jumping from the windows, falling to their death rather than getting burned up to death when those demolition charges were going off. Oh, my bad. When the building fell into its own footprint, even though the plane hit way up there and all that other type of shit. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. Were white people, were black people setting demolition charges on the steel beams at strategic locations? Who's doing that? Huh? What was it? Y'all want to talk about crimes and who commits the most crimes against who? If you want to be real, if you want to broaden the scope of crime and what crime really is, you want to broaden that scope? Oh, white on white, white on black, white on Asian, white on Arab, white on any other race. Guess what? We're committed by white people. The most crimes ever committed in the world throughout history were committed by white folks. But y'all want to scale it down to little neighborhoods where the white power structure, the white system, encourages and perpetuates their poverty. Y'all want to scale it down to these little neighborhoods, these 12 square blocks. That's what y'all want to do. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Oh, we don't want to talk about the real fucking crimes. We don't want to talk about the banker crimes. We don't want to talk about the white collar crimes that are committed constantly. We don't want to talk about the crime the Federal Reserve commits every fucking day. What about the crime of printing money out of nowhere with no backing? Who is doing that? Is that black people? Huh? Driving up interest rates? Driving up inflation? Which leads to what? What does that lead to? It leads to more poverty. And what does more poverty lead to? More crime. So if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, these elite bankers, these special interest groups, these politicians, your favorite government entities, they are the ones driving poverty. They are the ones driving crime. Who got rid of the gold standard? Who rid this country of the gold standard? Who was stealing gold from their allies to fund a war in Vietnam? Was it black people? Huh? Who was stealing France's money? Who was taking France's gold and printing money based on us having France's gold? Who did that? Was it black people? Black people did that? Huh? Who did that? The Gulf of Tonkin. Who committed that crime? Who committed that false flag to bring us into a war with North Vietnam that killed tens of thousands of Americans? Did black people do that? Did black people say, hey, let's do the Gulf of Tonkin thing and start this fucking thing, huh? Who did that? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Black on black crime. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Y'all get on my nerves with that shit. Y'all are so small-minded. Y'all don't think on a macro scale, do you? See, you should be able to have the ability to think on a macro scale to see how it affects the micro scale. Socioeconomic issues are driven by what? Policies of the government. Who gets the better roads? Who gets the most jobs? Your politicians who are supposed to represent you and represent your interest, your Congress people, whose interest are they really representing? They are representing the interest of the corporations. That's who that's who. And what does that do? Well, it causes them to neglect the people, the constituents within their communities. All the redistricting, all the redlining, all the gerrymandering, which they commit to this day, they did this shit in fucking South Carolina. They just did it in South Carolina. In South Carolina, the courts of South Carolina say, hey, it's okay to do that. It's okay to push black people and split them up into different districts so that they have less voting power. That's illegal. Who committed that crime? Huh? Who said that it was okay? Not black people. Black people gonna say, "Oh, let's split up our populations into different districts, so that we have less voting power." Did black people do that? You're not supposed to be gerrymandering, but what did the local courts do? They said, "Okay, it's okay, South Carolina. You can disenfranchise black people. Go ahead." Who the fuck did that? What does that do? It gives black people less voting power, which you guys love so much. You guys love voting so much. Oh, it's such a great thing. Oh yeah. That's how we move forward in life, by voting for motherfuckers to control us. Uh-huh. Well, who said it was okay for them to gerrymander? Was it a black judge? No. Was it black legislators that said, hey, let's go ahead and okay redlining, even though it's fucking illegal? Let's do that. It's illegal, y'all. Gerrymandering, redlining, redistricting to diminish the voting power of a specific group is illegal. That's a fucking crime, right? So, who said that was okay? So what does this do? Well, it de-incentivizes the representatives of those districts to give a fuck and to do anything to help black people. So guess what? Black people, if you down, you stay down in this neighborhood. When we vote on laws that will affect black people much worse than it would affect other races, well, you ain't got no say because not enough of y'all. So what does that do? It perpetuates the level of poverty that these people go through. And what does that do? Poverty drives up what? Let's do it. Hey, come on, man. Follow the logical through line here. What does that do? It increases the crime. Increased poverty equals increased crime in a specific subset of criminal acts. A specific subset. Cause y'all want to stay on a micro scale. You want to stay within the community with the crime thing, huh? You don't want to go. Y'all don't want to talk about all the influential things that happen around that. Y'all don't want to talk about everything that influences crime in these areas. Y'all just want to talk about the crimes themselves. Y'all don't want to talk about how we got here. You think black people just wake up and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna kill me a nigga today. I'm gonna rob me a nigga today. I'm gonna break into a nigga house today. No. They say, man, you know, this is some bullshit, man. I'm tired of working for $3 an hour or $12, $10 an hour. I can't even afford this rent, whatever. Oh, A bag of groceries costs $100 now. It used to cost $25. Man, I got to make a way out of no way. I got to go take somebody else shit. That's how that works. They don't say, let me kill a nigga today. And when you talk about gangs, the only colors they thinking about is red and blue. Red, blue, orange, whatever the fuck. Whatever color your gang represents, or whatever color represents your gang, that is the color that you worried about. You ain't worried about, let me go kill me a nigga in this gang. No. But y'all don't want to have these discussions because it's too real. It's too logical. How did these gangs form in the first place? Do y'all want to talk about that? Y'all want to talk about how gangs formed in the first place? How that started? How it started from the Black Panther Party, who did great things like start the WIC program and, all the charitable things that they did to help their community out, and how they were fucking just completely demolished by the white government because they were just too empowered. Oh no, we can't have a bunch of empowered Negroes running around here. Oh hell no. We gotta break this up. We gotta COINTELPRO this shit. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about how the wars between the US organization and the Black Panthers were started in the first fucking place. You don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to talk about what? Man, y'all is small-minded motherfuckers, man. Small-minded people. That's what y'all are. Marcy T was good. Snap, I saw a 50-year-old book with all these plans that are going on right now. And this is not, no, it's not natural. All these things are orchestrated. But they don't want to talk about that. What they want to talk about is they want to focus on the gun in the hand of the person that shot the gun. They don't want to talk about what led to that. Right? They think everything just happens out of osmosis. It's just automatic. All these things are just automatic. Black people are in poverty the most just automatically because we don't have any drive. We're lazy. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. A bunch of simple-minded people that have no understanding of how the world works. Sam Seals was good. I'm just going to say it here. And how do you know that Ukrainian territory and not Russian? I don't know that. I don't know whose territory it is. First of all, I'm just giving you what they're saying, right? How they present it to us. They present it to us as though Russia is invading Ukraine. But if that part of Ukraine was Russian territory all this time, why just now try to go and take it over? Why just now go and try to get it back? Why did you wait? Why did you wait so long to annex it? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're talking about one people's government claiming territory and claiming land that they really have no claim to. The government has no ownership of anything. The land doesn't belong to government. They say it does, and they'll charge you taxes for it. They'll strip it of the resources, but it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to everybody. But because of our sick mentality of the human being, having to control everything and having to have, I need all this, I need all the resources, I need access to all the resources, I need to control all the resources. Because of this sick mentality, well, yeah, now we have governments that create borders and have created all this animosity all over the world, that have fostered violence based on territory, fostered violence based on who gets what resources and who doesn't get yeah, so now, guess what? It is what it is now. We didn't already, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. We created this environment of greed that, hey, this is what it is. Love you too, Marcy T. So, it's just the human condition. The human need to control everything. The human need to do whatever it takes for you to maintain and to expand your control. So in order to control groups of people, they have to create narratives to create division. So one of the narratives that they have created is this idea of black on black crime. Why? Because they want this division. When black people want to talk about anything, when black people want to have a say, when black people want to express how they feel about certain shit and what they think about certain things, they bring up black on black crime. Just like with this Ryan Garcia bullshit. Ryan Garcia, because Champside put him on his ass the day before, because Champside cooked his ass and made him look stupid, he had to go to this black on black crime thing by bringing his token coon on his fucking Twitter space to push the narrative of black on black crime. That was the agenda. That's what Ryan Garcia wanted to do. Classic Conway says, what's next? Russia wanting Alaska back that we bought. I'm just saying. 7.2 million. See, that's a great point, Classic Conway. Exactly. That's exactly the point. Russia owned Alaska. Alaska belonged to Russia. The Bering Strait is right there. So who's to say that Russia can't say one day, you know what? We're going to invade Alaska. We're going to annex Alaska from America. And we're going to invade. Who's to say that they can't do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So, and just like Louisiana, who's to say that France is not going to say one day, oh, you know what? I want Louisiana back. What if one day the UK says, you know what? We used to own the United States. Let's go get that back. I'm just saying. So this is what I'm talking about. It is part. I don't know what this sick need is. It's really just territorial issues, right? Many species of animals, particularly predators, feel like they own certain territory, and they feel the need to expand it. So that's, I guess, this is natural. But when you combine that natural instinct to expand your territory with the level of intelligence humans have been able to evolve to, you have these problems. Well, I got to create better weapons to better defend my territory. It turns from that to, you know what? I need even better weapons to expand my territory. And the man or the community or the tribe or whatever you want to call it with the most weapons and the better weapons, they are going to be able to, in the most ruthlessness, the highest level of ruthlessness, whatever it takes, whatever you got to do. You can raise whole communities. You know what I'm saying? R word, the women and children. Just commit the most atrocities you could ever commit to ensure that once you take over this territory, once you take over this land, and the people that are indigenous to this land, they still exist to some degree, even though you eradicated a lot of them. You don't want them to rise up, so you commit the most atrocities possible to keep them down, to keep them depressed, to keep them suppressed. So therefore, you commit the most dirty and dubious acts. Who does that the most? Who has done that the most throughout history? The European. So I don't want to hear shit about color on color crime. Crime is crime. Y'all want to go there? We're going to get into the reality of it. We're going to expand to the full spectrum of criminality. Not just a little monicum. Oh, let's focus on this little 12-block radius of motherfucking of land and say, oh, these people, oh, look at that black on black crime in this little 12-block radius. Fuck out of here with that. No, we're going to go all the way out. We're going to go all the way up with it. No half measures. Full measures only. So if y'all want to talk about color on color crime, let's get down to the thick of it. Let's get into that. To this day, white people commit the most crimes. And many types of crimes. Murder, robbery, embezzlement, fraud. Oh yeah. Because The elites, right? The elites of this country are white. And guess what? They commit crimes against you every day through the government. They commit extortion. They commit rape. They might do. They might have something to do with the whole sex trafficking thing going on. You see, when you get down to the thick of it, right? When you look at Jeffrey Epstein, look at Harvey Weinstein. How many countless atrocities have these people committed against a countless number of people? Ghislaine Maxwell, where's her list? Why don't we have access to her list? Who's on that list? Yeah, I mean, you got P. Diddy on blast. You got R. Kelly on blast, Bill Cosby. No doubt they have some nasty shit going on, right? But who else? Whose name don't you have? So if you want to get into who really commits the most crime on a broad scale in America, if you want to stick to America, we can do that. If you want to stick to the localities, we can do that. So y'all think that crime can just be attributed to the citizenry. Y'all don't think that politicians commit crimes. Y'all don't think bankers commit crimes. Y'all don't think captains of industry commit crimes? How the fuck you think they got where they at? How you think all these big corporations that are worth billions and billions, how you think they got where they at? Get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Not y'all, but y'all. Y'all idiots and crawling up Ryan Garcia's ass and licking his balls. Y'all motherfuckers with your ass in the sand and your heads up the ass. You so worried about black on black crime that you don't see these motherfuckers picking your pockets every time you get a paycheck. You think it's okay for them to extort you every week or however often you get paid. You think it's okay for them to take taxes to extort you for living on land that you bought. Y'all think it's okay for them to take money from you every time you buy something. You think it's okay for them to extort you every time you renew registration. In South Carolina, what do? They tax you. They hit you with property tax for your cars, for your houses, for the value of that vehicle, for the appraised value of the house and the appraised value of the vehicle every fucking year. Every fucking year. You get extorted just for owning your own shit. But y'all want to talk to me about black on black crime in a 12-block radius? Who the fuck y'all think y'all are? Y'all a bunch of fucking clowns, and that's why we can't ever get nowhere. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about people as free people, free individuals. The trek, the march, the sprint toward freedom. That's why we don't get no fucking where. Because you think it's okay for these motherfuckers to pick your pocket every time you have a transaction. You think it's okay. And then guess what? They take that money and they give it to other motherfuckers. They give it to people crossing over these borders that ain't contributing shit to this society. They push veterans out of their homes because they got to make room for these immigrant motherfuckers that ain't did shit. Where y'all at? Y'all don't think that's a crime? Pushing veterans out of homes after they done served their country and committed countless murders on behalf of their rulers here in the United States. Come back with trauma that you can't even imagine. So much trauma, they can't even function as an adult. So they have to be put up in housing. But no, we're going to kick these motherfuckers out because we got some motherfuckers that ain't did shit for anybody in this fucking country and contributed shit to anybody in this fucking country. You're going to lay off hundreds of people that have worked for you for 10, 20, 30 years to hire a bunch of people that just fucking got here. You don't know shit about them. You don't know them from Adam. And what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Y'all minds can't go there because you're fucking stuck. And this is what I was talking about when I was talking about critical thinkers. You guys don't think critically. You think everything is so fucking simple. It is simple, but it ain't. It is simple, but it ain't. If you don't understand that, there's something wrong with you. But see, y'all focused on the wrong simple shit, when you should be focused on the grand simple shit. But y'all want to be stuck. Y'all suffer from this cult of personality disorder so much that you just want to go with what your favorite motherfucker said. Fuck your favorite motherfucker. What about what you think? Anyway, man, let me get out of here. It's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. I'm reading a couple of y'all comments and I gotta go. Not to mention tipping culture now. Yeah. Welcome to America, my boy. Fought war about to get. Yeah, it's crazy. They got their fortunes by crimes. Yeah. Less overhead, more profit for the company. So yeah, see, some of y'all are thinking. Anyway, much love, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Champ Side, man, for staying on Ryan Garcia's neck. We got to stay on his neck because, I mean, this does represent a larger issue in society. Anyway, holla at y'all later. I might get on the live with y'all later on when I'm on my way back to the house in South Carolina. Until then, y'all stay up, and we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.